It's Midday News right here at Prime Media TV. I am Ayo, bringing you the headlines as it is this afternoon. Nigerian police accuse popular whistleblower Pidom Nigeria of leaking classified documents, cybercrime offenses. The Nigerian police force has given reasons why the anonymous whistleblower Isaac Bristol was arrested by the officials from the National Cybercrime Center. Sahara reporters reported on Friday how Nigerian police force NPF subjected Bristol, a microblogger and leak journalist known popularly as Pidom Nigeria, to inhuman treatment after he was picked on August 5th, 2024. It was also reported that the police authorities later confirmed the journalist's arrest and detention after activist Omoyele Sowore, Deji Adeyanju, and investigative journalist David Undenyi, among others, visited the police unit where he was being held. And here is the conversation that we are diving into right here on the Midday News. And quite a number of things has been coming up since this story broke out. As regards to Nigerian police are able to track a faceless account operating on Twitter, and they've not been able to use that same technology to put an end to banditry and insecurity. And also we'll be looking at conversations around what the Nigerian government are referring to as a classified information that this faceless account, this anonymous whistleblower by the name Pidom Nigeria, 99% oppressed, had leaked. Let's take the conversation further to what the Nigerian government meant by classified information. And as always, I have my co-host with me in the studio to analyze this segment together. Nwachuku Treasure, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So I want to hear your quick thoughts, because this story, I am so interested in it since I heard about the kidnapping of this guy. I had thought he was kidnapped by bandits or all of this.
Kidnap or arrest?
When it was first announced that he was kidnapped,
okay.
Since he wasn't active on his Twitter page since the 5th of August. And a lot of persons are saying, we are not hearing from this guy. Once upon a time, there was allegations of him being arrested. And he later came back and said, truly, some persons are trying to track him down. He laid low for a while. And after people began to raise a lot of questions as regards to his whereabouts since the 5th of August, because he was always giving updates concerning the protests and all of that. Then afterwards, we didn't hear about him again. Then people began to say that it is seeming like this guy has been kidnapped, until his friend, an investigative journalist too, David Undenyi, came out to say that we don't know the whereabouts of this guy. It is looking like he has been kidnapped. That was before they confirmed that he was arrested by the NPF. So I want to hear your thoughts. Like I said, I am personally interested in this case because it is related to me, because it is happening to him now. Someday it could be anybody. So what are your thoughts concerning this? And especially as regards to the reason for his arrest. He was arrested because he has a classified information. So if you are to define classified information as regards to why he will be tracked, he will be silenced and be subjected to this inhuman treatment. So what will you say a classified information is that will lead to the reason why he's being treated this way?
First, I will begin what I want to say by saying that the Nigerian police should be careful how they are being manipulated to carry out, some kind of actions, illegal actions, knowing fully well that whoever they are working for, whoever they are taking instruction for, is not going to be in office forever.
Definitely.
And they too, whatever position anyone is occupying in the police force that gives you room to carry out intimidating assignment, that person will not remain in that office forever. And that time is changing.
Definitely.
Right, that is one thing. Then talking about what do you call it again?
Classified information.
I begin to wonder. I've been going through Nigerians' reaction to this matter on X, and I began to wonder. Now, on what account are they arrested? No, first of all, why were there no notification for his arrest? Because it's not as if he is defaming the country. It's not as if the information he's letting out are forceful. They are not, the information that are not true, that are defaming. If this person is not a member of the government workers, he's a freelancer. It's not as if he works in the government and is sabotaging the system. So how is he getting this information from? He should tell them that they too, they have sabotage among them. They are not looking at that. Now, why are they after him? Has he given out information that are not true? Because it is on that I believe the law has a way to deal with him. Now, why was he arrested and nobody got to know about his arrest until it was seeming a kidnap? Because if there were notification, if there was any form of awareness about his arrest, people won't target, kidnap. So it means that the process of his capture is unlawful. His eventual capture is equally unlawful.
Definitely.
All right. So it means that even the police are doing things that are contrary to the law. So now, if they being people that should protect the law are now doing things that are not in accordance with the law, what then do we now call? Who do we now call them? Now, I want to also say something. They say that they arrest him because of release of information,
classified
information. Now, these same people granted pardon to known terrorists and called them repented Boko Haram.
Definitely.
Repented bandits. And these people were given arm. There is this saying that when somebody is cured from madness, there is still going to be iota of it. So somebody who has been confirmed a bandit came to you and said they've repented. How were they assessed? There was no any form of assessment. But because they believe that they said they've repented and they were now lawfully given arms. Now, somebody who is given out true information, if we are practicing democracy, should there be any information the people should not have access to? If truly our president said, and I quote him, that he took an oath to protect life and property and is to stand for the truth. Now, if truly there is transparency in this government, in this governance in Nigeria, should there be information that the people should not have access to?
Yeah.
And why should there be arrest for leaking out information that is not a false, that you cannot say is not true? So I tell you that now, if this information, as they say, are really is an offense for him, why not spell it out? What are these classified information? Why should he be arrested and tortured for days without letting the public to be aware? Why arrest him without letting the public to be aware of his arrest until he became to look like a kidnap? So I believe even the police are not going to be exonerated when the time comes up, sincerely, because they have this arrest is unlawful and the process of his capture, let me use that word capture, is not lawful.
Yeah, definitely. And that his friend, who is also an investigative journalist, he even used the word abduction because this guy was abducted.
Which is kidnapping.
It is equivalent to kidnapping because if not that his friend David Ondenye raised an alarm after somebody messaged him and said he claimed to be his relative, that the guy is in trouble. And the person told him to begin to assess Pidom Nigeria's page and begin to operate as though he owned that page, begin to do all of the things that Pidom Nigeria would have done. I think it was just one of the ploy for these people who have the FCID who have arrested this guy or who have abducted this guy. It is just one of their ploy to silence him. Because if you had no intention of silencing this guy, why should you send someone to act as a relative to give David Ondenye access to this guy's password, to this guy's account, and begin to act like
so
him.
that people will
So
believe
that was it.
he's
So
still
that people
one.
will believe that he's still alive. Meanwhile, they have actually silenced him in that case. So there's actually a video where his friend David Undenyi was speaking as regards to all of this and the legal actions that ought to be taken as regards to if at all you feel like this guy has a classified information, which is no, I mean, some of the information that we access from his page, these are revelations that are left to that are left unknown to
Yes.
Nigerians. The case of Zulum's son, so many the case of Oni of Ife's allegation of bribe of wanting to scam somebody and all of that. If these are the supposed classified information, I think it is a good information that Nigerians
Need to be aware of.
aware of. That things like, so that means if there is nobody like this to review this information, that means it will be yet unknown to Nigerians. So let's quickly hear from his friend David Undenyi, who spoke as regards to his arrest, his unmerited arrest, and we'll come back to our analysis.
Under law, Nigeria purports to be a democracy. And in a democracy, in a country under law, there are certain processes for doing things. So if someone is being accused of these things, most of which, by the way, are civil offenses, right? Because if the statement from the police is saying that there are petitions that have been submitted by several people, these are civil matters, right? You are supposed to invite the person to come into the to speak to the police. You don't carry out this sort of Gestapo operation, using all manner of secret technology and whatnot to locate and track someone who supposedly is this person, and then sort of do this sort of rendition across state lines from Port Harcourt to Abuja. As far as I'm aware, there is very little basis for that under Nigerian law, but apparently the Nigerian police is sort of a law unto itself. And then finally, we pointed out that we shouldn't even be talking about a trial or being arraigned in front of a judge or anything like that, because the manner of his arrest in the first place, or rather the manner of his abduction, negates any purported basis for there being some sort of recourse to the law, because the actions of the police were illegal to begin with. You cannot build legality on top of illegality if you claim to be a country under law. In other words, he must be released immediately, and we shouldn't even be talking about a court date, because the very process through which this thing was initiated was illegal.
All right, so he has just cleared the air as regards to one. This is a civil case, and in a civil case, you are expected to you're expected to call for the person's arrest. Just even you don't even have to call for the arrest. You are supposed to call him in first for questioning, because it is more or less like an allegation that you said these things
and they are not true.
They are not true. Why will you say such a thing, if at all, since it is a civil offense? And fine, even if you had wanted to arrest him, find him out and arrest him,
and let the public
and
know.
let the public be aware of it. We know about Joe Ajairo's case of funding terrorism, and he was invited in for questioning and all of that. But here we are, somebody who has released a supposed classified information is said to be arraigned in court. Now, I want us to speak as regards to the technology that found out this guy.
Sorry, before we even go into the technology, I'm even surprised to know that we actually have such technology, because we know him to be a faceless activist. Now, but what I want to talk about is he was arrested, abducted. Rightfully, he was abducted since on the 5th of August until date. If he has truly committed an offense, I'm sure he should be in court by now.
Definitely.
His matter should be in court. So you see that there are so many things surrounding the abduction of this young man. Is it that the government, this administration, have a thing they don't want the people to hear about? Is it that they have issue with the truth? I don't know why everybody who says anything that is not aligned with what they want to hear, how they want it becomes an enemy. We've seen cases apart from this man. it is under this administration that we've had countless of journalists being arrested. Why? Because they stand for the truth. I don't know why, what problem these people this administration particularly seems to have with truth. They don't. Now, when you call somebody, I appreciate the fact that they called him a whistleblower. What is the work of a whistleblower? To reveal the truth, to let to the public, to let out to the public what they don't know about. So it means that even their secret is not secret enough.
Yeah.
Because he is not there with them when these things are happening. Talking about Zulu's son incident in India, there is no how Nigerians will still not get to know about it. The son is in detention. There is no how the people will still not get to know about it. Talking about the Oni of his Ife's matter, the woman who was almost scammed would have still let out the matter.
Definitely.
So nothing remains secret so long two people are involved.
But the thing is just that if there are no whistleblowers like this to talk about it, by the time the truth will come out, it will look like a normal thing. You know, there is a kind of truth that, for instance, if a rich man child steals, they will say he's only interested in that thing. If they had asked him very well, he would have paid for it. But if it is the son of a poor man, you would have placed tire on his neck. So we have classified stealing. A rich man's son steal, it is not stealing.
Yeah, even one of our
our
politicians said it, that if you steal in billions, it's not stealing.
Definitely.
So there is
we have English
classified stealing.
Yeah, exactly. So we have English word for everything. So even if the matter had come out later on, for instance, Beta Edu that we are talking about today, that Beta Edu, she was retrenched. She's no longer working with the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. Despite she has been retrenched, she still carried out an official assignment with the letterhead of the ministry while she was retrenched. So how did that go? How many of us have been hearing follow-up about Beta Edu again? No, we are not hearing follow-up as regards to that. But we know she still carried out an official assignment in July. So by the time it comes out and she gets reinstated, Nigerians will be like, how come? But there are a lot of things that has been going on in the background. And by the time she gets reinstated, the abnormal will become the normal. So that is what we see here. So now let's speak as regards to the intelligence that they used to discover this guy. You know, on this table we discussed last week, the illegal refinery that was discovered in Rivers State. Due diligence. The Navy officers, the Navy commander said, we carried out our due diligence. We put in all of the intelligence that we can put in to get to where this illegal refinery is. Yet there was no arrest. As if that was not enough. There was the case of the 20 medical students that were kidnapped in a state in Nigeria. They were released, and the police are telling us that
they engaged in a gun battle.
That they killed those people who masterminded it.
Even their boss, no pictures.
And there are no pictures of their face to see who they are and all of that. So we've seen cases like that. So the intelligence that cannot discover bandits, how come the intelligence is discovering a faceless account? So let's move this conversation
before we talk, you know, there is a recent incident that happened in one of the northern states in Kano recently, where they abducted about 146 people and about 1,000 cows. Now, of course, we know that it is not easy to move one cow into any truck. Just imagine. So it means they did not move those cows via truck. Of course, they moved them either by rustling and all that. Now, the thing is, we have the capacity to take care of insecurity in Nigeria. If you know, there's this saying that a problem becomes a problem when people see it as a problem. I want to quote Mr. President. He said, and I quote, that insecurity in Nigeria is an imported evil, and nothing imports itself. It means that there are people that are behind this insecurity, and that is why this intelligence cannot, of course, it's not an ordinary man that imports the level of insecurity or terrorism, banditry we are experiencing in Nigeria. So there are people who are benefiting from it. There are people who are behind it, and that is why they are not talking about it. They are not seeing it as a problem. So we have the capacity, we have the intelligence. Of course, we see how they deploy, they go against or go after anything that is trying to expose them. anything that is trying to review what they are doing. They use all manner of intelligence to discover the person. So it means that from what has played out, the police force has what it takes to discover if truly the banditry we are experiencing in Nigeria is from ordinary people, is from people that are not in power. They have the intelligence, they have all it takes to bring them out. And like I said, a time will come for, there's going to be a time for reckoning where everybody is going to answer, because nobody will be in office forever. That's one thing the police and even the Mr. President should know about this. Nobody lives forever. Nobody occupies any position forever. No matter how manipulative, no matter how powerful you can be, no matter how you are able to buy everyone around you to yourself, nobody can occupy a position forever. So, and we should be careful of what becomes of us when we leave office, what becomes of our relative, what becomes of our children. Because sometimes even God said he's going to visit the iniquity of the father on the children. So if at the end of your service in office, because of the evil you have done to the people, and the people decide to visit your iniquity on your children and your relative, it is not, we should just be careful what we do. If the police can use all this intelligence to capture somebody who is revealing the truth, and they cannot use the same thing to fight crime, they cannot. I don't know who they are working
because
for.
it is seeming like the system is actually in support of atrocities.
Yes,
the system is in support of banditry. The system is in support of insecurity. Because I'm just wondering, the intelligence that you use to discover somebody is operating a faceless account. I from the information I gathered, I heard that they got his contacts and every other his information from his KYC on Binance. That was how they got to know where he is, because definitely somebody who is doing such a thing will be making use of VPN that will not show his exact location and all of that. So, and it is also, I'm just wondering the number of persons that has given this guy access to information, people that they are not hard-hearted enough to tell the truth, and these people have leaked some of the secrets to him because they know that he could do it. I'm just concerned about their well-being. I'm just watching out for them. I hope that they are doing something to ensure that they are safe out there, because we see that the government that is handling this case right now, they do not care who goes down. As long as you are against them, you go down.
You are an enemy.
As long as you are not in support of them, you are an enemy. I mean, the supposed classified information, I'm just looking at.
They are not spelling it out.
They are not spelling it out. If somebody like this had not shown us what this classified information is, we won't have an iota of truth. Now, I want us to take this conversation to how this guy was treated. From some of the reports I gathered, he was not allowed access to eating, to drinking for days. And I heard again that they will soon transfer him from the FCID camp that he is to another place entirely. And I'm sure that the torture will be much more than where he was before. Now, I'm just looking at it that it is still a case of classified information. It is unlike our leaders will do, some of our security officers will do, that they would come outside to come and give us information as regards to the how the situation is unfolding. They give us information back to back. But in this case,
nobody is giving
us feedback. So it is looking like his case has been settled. That the next thing that we want to do is to just pass judgment on this guy. So how will you speak as regards to how this guy is being treated currently, and also he will be transferred soon, and also his faith on the long run, and what is expected of Nigerians to do, because currently it is Pidom Nigeria.
Okay.
It could be anybody out there. It could be anybody watching us. It could be you. It could be I. It could be anybody at all, as long as you are saying the truth. If they could come for Adeola Fayeun because she's released a lawmaker's salary, if the lawmakers could say that they should go and look for her wherever she is and find her out, who knows who is next? So I want to hear your take on how he's being treated and the expectations of Nigerians as at now. Before you go ahead again, because I want to buttress with NLC. My NLC member said if the NLC president is arrested, they would declare a nationwide shutdown. So how do you expect Nigerians to react to this? This is one of our own. He is a voice for the vulnerable in Nigeria.
Well, I would take it from what I said earlier, that beginning from this mode of capture is unconstitutional, his actual capture is unlawful, all right, down to how he has been treated. As a matter of fact, his continuous stay in detention, if actually he has committed a crime, is actually unlawful. Because if he has committed a crime, judging from in court, and for him not to have been taken to court means there is nothing to defend. Now, these people are not coming out to tell us what this guy have done. Leakage of, I find it difficult to remember this accusation leveled against him. Leakage of classified information is not an offense. I don't know what they are talking about classified. They are not. To me, I feel that there is nothing to talk about the way he has been treated, because even from his arrest is all wrong. It's all unconstitutional. So what we should be talking about is what Nigerians should do to ensure that this guy is safe and comes out alive. Now, if Nigerians, are voicing out could lead to them coming out to say he was arrested, because we know he was not arrested. If that move could lead to Nigerian police coming out to say they arrested him, I believe if they push further, it will lead to his release. What I want to say is that over time, we've seen that Nigerians, using the S handles, using other platforms to voice out, has always put these people in check, because they know that the whole world is watching. So I want to believe that Nigerians should continue. This guy is an activist, right? And if there is need, I already appreciate the effort of Sonwore and so many other people who are involved in this matter. I believe Nigerians should come out more. There was when we had the case of this guy, this musician that was killed, Mohbad. There was a nationwide protest.
Yeah.
If Nigerian youth can come out, if Nigerian people, because like you say, it can be anybody.
Yeah,
we have seen that these people are against the truth. So whoever says the truth, when I was taking a review this morning, I talked about what becomes the fate of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala for coming out to say that Nigeria wouldn't have been where we are today if not for bad policies and all that. So we see that when you come out to say anything that is not in alignment to singing their praises, you become an enemy. So Nigerians can actually rescue this guy if we can come out, if we can voice out, can increase the volume of our voice.
Definitely. And I believe Nigerians on X especially, they've been making noise. I mean, on my timeline right now, before you scroll through 2 or 3 posts, you're already hearing, you're seeing hashtag free Pidom now. As you see a lot of hashtag talking about him being freed. And I believe that the same way Soyinka was freed was the same way Pidom Nigeria has to be freed. So Nigerians can actually raise that notion. And X now can actually make that voice louder. Pidom Nigeria is an investigative journalist in Nigeria whose only offense is revealing the crimes of this administration, our leaders, some of the things that they are doing in secret, and helping vulnerable Nigerians. That is his only secret, and the Nigerian force has arrested this guy unlawfully. So Nigerians, it is high time that you arise for your own. I understand that we can't be on the same page. Countless times I go through his some of the information he released, and there are some things that they are not sitting well with me. But then, leaving bias aside, he has done a great job by helping 99% vulnerable and the oppressed in Nigeria, just as his name goes, as 99% oppressed. So it is high time that Nigerians come out and do the right thing. Air your voice and lend your voice in any way possible for the release of Pidom Nigeria. On this note, this is all that we'll be taking on the media news right here at Prime Media TV. But before we leave the studio, we would like that you follow us on all our social media platform. On Facebook, we're Prime Media TV. On Instagram and TikTok, we're Prime Media Studios. On the website where you're currently watching us, we're Engine Speak. And you can do all to follow us on YouTube at Prime Media TV. I am Ayo. Until I come your way again tomorrow on the media news, do have a great day.